Hello, this is Dr. Darnise, and welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody is having a good holiday season, and I'm coming on here today to talk about our rituals and our practices during holiday season. Because, many of us are not doing traditional religious practices anymore, Christianity or Judaism or Islam, whatever the institutional religions are you may have been affiliated with. Many of us are not, or are being syncretistic and blending things together. And you're wondering, well, what can I do this holiday season if, for example, Christmas is basically taking over December? And if you're not a Christian or you're not a Christian in a traditional way, what do I do? And one thing that I would like to suggest, and I wish I'd come on here earlier, I've been, busy doing things, as I always say. I did mean to come on earlier around Halloween and talk about our ancestral traditions because this season really gives us, the whole larger society really talks a lot about history and about family and ancestors. When you think about Halloween and All Hallows Eve, the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, for those who celebrate, it's really an acknowledgement of our own ancestors. So, as much as we may feel like we who practice African traditional religions or magic or conjure or hoodoo, that we're on the fringes of society and that people don't really know who we are, or they demonize what we do, really the larger society is always doing it, right? These holidays that we have, it's like time set aside, we say, to be sacred or to recognize something special, something sacred. And so one of the things that we do is we honor our ancestors. If you do a Day of the Dead kind of celebration, then people will literally go to cemeteries and they set up altars and they recall their literal ancestors and they recognize them. They just remember them. It's not a matter of worshiping them as if they're gods, no. But it is a matter of recalling who they were and how important they were to us being here. Without them, we would not be, in a very literal way, right? So that's why it's important to have an ancestor altar. You're doing these kind of practices. Some people contact me and they want to do the big thing. They want to do the utmost thing. They want to contact deities. They want to, do something really grand, and they're totally unfamiliar with it because they want some sort of result, right? They want to practice something and have something, I don't know, money fall on their heads or great love come into their lives, and they want to do some spell or whatever that's going to make that happen. And it doesn't matter, in terms of what I teach, what you want to do. You have to start with your ancestors. You have to have an altar. So if you think back to whatever you were doing for Halloween, if you celebrated it or not, and then now here we are in the Thanksgiving season, just past Thanksgiving, what are you grateful for? Like, personally, I've stopped celebrating Thanksgiving as such. Here in America, our history is so, in many ways, vile and violent and horrific towards Native people, that the Thanksgiving story itself is, it's like it just does further harm, right, to our Native populations. So I don't, practice or celebrate Thanksgiving in that way anymore. I like to broaden it out and say, well, what can I be grateful for? And one of the things, because I've been doing this purposeful ancestral reflection since Halloween, and so it's made me say, wow, well, one of the things that I can't get away from and wouldn't want to get away from is the importance of staying connected to those who came before me, right? Like, we are literally their embodiment now. They've passed on. They're not in the physical anymore. We are literally their embodiment. We have their DNA. Like, you can't even be more literal than that. When you really think about, like, you are the current manifestation of all the people who've come before you. You have their DNA. You have their blood. You are their bloodline. And so whatever it is you're doing now, you stand upon their shoulders. You stand as them now. And so what do you do with that? How do you honor them? Do you honor them? So this message is really to say during this holiday season, take time to be really purposeful about recognizing your ancestors. Now, you may have given up all kind of different holiday, traditional Christian holiday practices anyway. You're like, I don't believe in that anymore, and I don't want to participate in that anymore. That's fine. It may be difficult to go around your family members because they don't understand why you're not celebrating it. But you can just go along and do it very surface. Just be grateful to be in the company of your loved ones and family and friends. No, that's okay. Just by you going to, auntie's house or, grandma's house doesn't mean that you have to believe the whole thing the way they believe it, right? Just like when you have somebody come to your house, doesn't mean they have to believe the whole thing that you're doing 100%. If we can just be respectful, that's fine, right? And also in the gathering of family, you are connected to your lineage once again. So, do you have your candles? Do you have your white candle? Do you have offerings ready for your ancestors? If you haven't been doing this, I haven't talked about it, specifically in the last few months because I talked about it a lot previously and there are other videos about that. But I want to remind us that, hey, don't slack off on that. And now that the larger society is taking time in this holiday season, let us also take time in the holiday season to do the things that we do. If you got busy and you weren't doing it as much or whatever, take this time. Make sure you light your white candle on your ancestor altar. Create one if you haven't created one yet. It can be very simple, just a small table or a shelf that's kind of freestanding. I don't mean a bookshelf because you're going to light a candle. You don't want to set your bookshelf on fire. But if you have some sort of shelf that is on its own, so to speak, then, but my point is that it can be very small. You don't have to think of a whole table. You don't have to think of something elaborate. Just get some pictures of your deceased loved ones, blood relatives, plain white tablecloth, and then offerings, water. If you know what they like to drink in terms of alcohol, give that. Coffee, tea, food offering. What are you having? Share some. So I may have mentioned before that for my mother who's passed on, we share a ring. It was her ring, and I leave it on the altar, but some days I wear it, and I say to her, Mom, I'm wearing the ring today. And then I'll bring it back and put it on the altar. So we share that. It's a gold ring, and there's a whole story associated with it. And it's kind of a mystery. I don't know. But anyway, it's a special thing that I'm able to do. And when I wear it, I'm very mindful of the fact that I have her with me right then, that whole day, that whole time. So that's what we can do during this holiday season. Think about your ancestors and and how you're honoring them with your life. Not just the altar and the offering, but think about your life as an offering. What am I living in such a way to do the name honor, our family name honor? Am I living in such a way to carry on what they would have wanted? And then you say, what about those people who weren't so great? I don't know that I really, do I honor them? They were not good people. Well, think about it this way. If they were not good people when they were alive, in your estimation, how can you make it better? You can get some kind of better understanding or broader understanding of people as we mature, as we become adults and mature, and we understand, oh, so-and-so might have done this or that and the other thing, but then you have a broader understanding about why and the limitations they may have felt upon their lives, and they maybe took it out on other people in harmful ways. And if that's the case, you can still say about that person and about having been related to that person, how do I alter it so that the people who come after you don't have only that person to look at, right? They can say, Dr. Darnise made it better. Like that. I know that person wasn't the greatest person, but I'm going to continue in our family name and our bloodline and try to do it better. I know they had some obstacles that I never had to face, and they made decisions that maybe they were poor decisions, and I can do it better. So again, are you honoring them? How about that as a holiday practice? So I'm going to leave that there for this video, and then I'm going to make a few more. I'm not going to wait till January because I want to come back and help us get ready. This is December 1st when I'm recording this. Help us get ready for 2020. Time to get your intentions together. Time to get really mindful. Time to get back into your practices. If you've fallen off, it's time now. We're going into 2020, another year, a new decade. It's time to get ourselves on track and very purposeful. So I will make at least a couple more videos this month. Hopefully I'll do one a week, but busy. What else do I want to say? Oh, I want to thank the new subscribers and to encourage you to hit the notification button so that you know when I make a new video, pass the video around, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. And I guess that's really all for now. Bye for now.